Edmonton Mill Woods.
Mr. Speaker, despite the many flaws in Bill C11, the Liberals continue to force this legislation through Parliament. Last week, the CEO of Canada's most successful YouTube channel told the Heritage Committee that Bill C11 is not an ill-intentioned piece of legislation, but it is a bad piece of legislation. It's been written by those who do not understand the industry that they're attempting to regulate. Mr. Speaker, artists and creators who work in the digital media have been clear. Modernization does not mean taking an outdated 30-year-old regulatory system and simply applying it to today's technology. While the Liberals claim there is now an exemption for user-generated content, this legislation clearly allows the CRTC to regulate any content that generates revenue directly or indirectly. That means that virtually all content can be regulated by the CRTC. Mr. Speaker, it's clear. Bill C11 is flawed and it must be scrapped.
The Heritage Minister wasn't able to answer any of my questions on Monday, so I'm hoping perhaps the Prime Minister might be able to assist today. Now, the Heritage Minister has claimed repeatedly that Bill C11 doesn't capture user-generated content. But the chair of the CRTC, Mr. Scott, has said yes, in fact, user-generated content is captured within Bill C11. Both of these men cannot be correct. And so I'm wondering if the Prime Minister can perhaps clarify for the sake of Canadians who are watching today, should they believe his minister or should they believe the chair of the CRTC?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, we have been very clear. Bill C11 applies to platforms, not to users.
The Honourable Member for Richmond-Arthabaska. Mr. Speaker, in my riding, I have two amazing online content creators. Julia Westland and David Michaud have millions of viewers on YouTube, and they are world famous. Their art is their livelihood. But under Bill C11, the CRTC could regulate their content and therefore have major impacts on their source of income. Will the Prime Minister guarantee that user-generated content on social media, like that of Julie and David, is exempt? Yes or no? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Yes, Mr. Speaker. I am very pleased to be able to underscore the work of Julia and David and to say that their content will be protected. We are there to ensure that platforms protect Canadian content, but user-generated content, our users will be supported, and that's what the Conservatives still don't get. We, on this side of the House, we are always going to protect creators and artists. The Conservatives, we know what their story is. The Honourable Member for Richmond-Arthabaska. Mr. Speaker, it's not because the Prime Minister says something that it's true. What is written in the bill clearly is that the CRTC could regulate all content that generates income directly or indirectly, like artists who don't get subsidies and who want to live from their art. So a number of experts, not Conservatives, experts in the field have raised red flags in committee, and I'm going to repeat my question. It's very simple. Will he exempt all creators, all users on social media from Bill C11, yes or no? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, yes, creators, users, these individual people are protected under the bill. We are targeting platforms because we know full well, if we remember, for example, we were able to protect Quebec and Canadian culture by focusing on access to Canadian creators, whether it be radio, TV, or whether it be now on internet. We want to ensure that Canadian creators can be viewed, listened, and appreciated, and that is exactly what Bill C11 does, and that's what the Conservatives continue to fail to understand.